feel unwanted. They think that Filipinas are not interested or not into foreigners anymore. I'll give you a reason why there are some expat or foreigners that are still single and struggling to find a girlfriend here in the Philippines. I think dating the right Filipina can save you money. I'll give you a reason why. There are some foreigners that are quite arrogant, in their first meet.
Yeah, that's right. You come here doing that, you have a lot of women that will actually look down on you for that. Hey guys, welcome back to the Black Filipino TV. Right now, I'm currently in Thailand. I'm not sure if you guys seen a short that I did yesterday. Well, Kay did it, but I'm out here and I have some shopping around to do. What I'm looking for some things to sell. I'll show you guys about that later. But right now, I'm going to get into a reaction video. And this video is from Philippine Family Life with Leah. And it's a great question. I'm sure a lot of you guys have this question. Well, a lot of you guys have this question if you've ever visited the Philippines and ran into some troubles. And you're going to know those troubles by the name of the title. The name of the video is titled, Are Filipinas Just Not That Into Foreigners Anymore? And some guys will think that. They'll come here and be like, man, they're not giving me any love. They're not paying me any attention. I'll tell you one thing, though. If you're in certain areas, right, certain parts of the Philippines, they're used to seeing foreigners all the time. Like where I'm living at, in my area, my part of Quezon City, they're used to seeing foreigners, but it's not nearly as much. But if you're in an area like IT Park, Cebu, they see foreigners all the time. They may just be tired of seeing foreigners, and they may not be that much into foreigners because they see them all the time. But anyway, guys, let me get into a reaction. Let's do it.
One of the common reason why foreigners come to the Philippines is because they want to find a Filipina girl, or they want to have a Filipina girlfriend or a wife. And I've heard more and more recently that there are some foreigners that are struggling to find a Filipina. Even in YouTube videos, I've seen YouTube videos, foreigners are complaining about, they cannot find a girlfriend here in the Philippines. They feel unwanted. They think that Filipinas are not interested or not into foreigners anymore. That's fake news. That's not true because, you know, there are so many single Filipinas that are wishing to be with a foreigners or to have a foreigner boyfriend or a husband. You just have to be patient and you just have to make some moves.
We heard what she said. When she said make some moves, she's 1,000,000% right. Right? I'll tell you, and I said it before. When I interviewed the brother, what's his name? The brother Odell, right? Odell, I said the way he moves around, he gets woman, and he can get a woman. It's easy for him because he moves around doing this, talking, creating conversation everywhere he goes. There's tons of guys that come to the Philippines and think Filipinos is just gonna throw themselves at them. And for the most part, it's not like that. The women here are feminine. And you got to think about it. Feminine women aren't just throwing themselves at you, right? And then also, not tons of Filipinos aren't sitting around going, "Oh, it's one day my wish to have a foreigner." There may be some that feel that way, but I say it all the time: play the numbers. There's more Filipinas that want foreigners than there are foreigners coming here. So think about that.
Or have the tricked. Anyways, I'll give you a reason why there are some expat or foreigners that are still single and struggling to find a girlfriend here in the Philippines. So, number one is they have financial concern. They think dating a Filipina could cost them a lot of money. They think that they cannot provide enough for Filipina. Well, for me, based on my experience, just my opinion, I think dating the right Filipina can save you money. I'll give you a reason why. Most good Filipinas love to cook for you. So if you're living alone, you have to go out and, you know, spend money for restaurant, especially if you don't know how to cook. That could cost you a lot of money, and to clean your house and all that. So imagine if you have Filipina, If you have Filipina, she would be happy to do that for you. And another thing, if you're living alone here in the Philippines, more likely you will get scammed. Like if you're gonna get a taxi, if you're gonna get a trike, you most likely will get scammed. So if you have a Filipina that will guide you, will tell you, you know what, she could save you for that. If you're dating a Filipina, you also have to be wise. You have to do it in a right way. If you don't have enough money, if you're not rich, you just have to be honest with her. Like, you know, in your even better in your first meeting, you just have to tell her that you don't have enough money, and if you're desiring to date a rich man, I'm not the right one for you.
Well, I'll tell you this, right? Now, coming to the Philippines, there's Filipinas out there that will say something that would be nonsensical to me. I want my man to be making 20,000 pesos, but there, which is crazy. That's $400. There are some that will say I want my man to make 40,000 pesos, which is $800. That's a little high in the Philippines, but still, you're most likely going to make more than that. Any guy coming here does not have to worry about them making enough money. It's going to be more than enough.
But you know what? I'm genuine. I'm really serious about having a relationship with you and all that. That's also could be a good test for her, you know, if she's not into money, if she just wants to have a good relationship with you, then she would be okay with that. You know, that's a good test as well. So you just have to be honest with that. You just have to humble yourself. You don't, if you don't have much enough money, you know, you just have to be honest with her. And if she's a good Filipina, she would understand that and she will make it work. So
And I gotta say this really quickly, Leia. I don't like that Thailand hat right there. Where's the Philippines hat at, Leia? No, I'm joking.
you know, you just have to be honest. Since that we're talking about financial, there are some there are some foreigners that quite arrogant, you know, in their first meeting, how they approach Filipina. Sometimes it could be you know, word arrogant, you know, telling a Filipina, you know what, I got a million pesos in my bank account. That would scare the Filipina. Sometimes
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You come here doing that, you have a lot of women that will actually look down on you for that. True Filipinas. See, some guys think, oh, Filipinos just want money. Filipinos just want this. No, for the most part, you'd be here in the country talking like that, and a Filipino look at you like you got 10 heads, because they're not used to that. Most of them don't want that. They don't want somebody to give them everything, right? It's kind of like even when you're in the West, it was like that back in the day. I remember 20 years ago, a woman wouldn't want you to give her everything, and Filipinos are the same.
would scare Filipina. In general, Filipina would consider that as a red flag if you are trying to brag about how much money do you have, because most Filipina, a good Filipina, would rather be with an expat that is living in one bedroom apartment and being with an expat that living in mansion that is arrogant, that doesn't have a good personality, that is difficult to live with. I promise you that. No confidence. It's very hard to date or to find a partner when you have no confidence about yourself. And especially for foreigners that are from United States. I understand coming from United States, coming to Asia, you feel like you have no confidence about yourself because from your country you feel invisible to women, especially if you're not tall. If you don't make so much money, you're feeling like you're not important and women are not interested in you. But if you come here in the Philippines, it works different because most Filipina doesn't have that crazy high standards, you know. As long as you are genuine, you have a good sense of humor, you know, you're kind, you have a good moral, uh, you're good to go. You don't have to be, you know, very good looking like a model, you know, to find a Filipina. So next one is for foreigners that is too picky when it comes to Filipina. I mean, you know, there's some foreigners that have no confidence and there's some foreigners that is too picky. I mean, let me correct that. It's okay to have standards when it comes to, you know, their partners. Of course, you have to date someone that is your type, right? But not to the point that every real little stuff that you find it irritating to her and you just dump her. There are some cases that, foreigners would take advantage the fact that they are foreigners, and they think, especially the ones that have money, they think they can just dump a Philippine and move into the next one, that. And it's just so easy for them to change, the pattern and just dump in next. And,
Well, it's funny she mentioned that. I don't think most guys are thinking to dump and go to the next, but I think most Filipinas, and this is true, think a lot of guys are dumping it on to the next. Like I've even had an interview, and his lady said, "What's stopping you from coming to the Philippines to get with the next girl?" And the reason why she felt that way is because so many Filipinas are doing it, Filipinos. And I get it, right? Those women are used to high competition. And Mira said it. So, yeah, but no, I get it. It's a lot of competition here. And what happens is the reason why she felt that way, some Filipino will throw themselves at you, not even being fast, too. Not even being fast. It's just a pick me mindset, right? Pick me, pick me, pick me. So that's why they feel that way.
if you're dating, you have to have patience, and you have to communicate, good communication. Like, if you find out that this Filipina have a hairy armpit, doesn't mean you have to dump her for that reason. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Oh, them armpits too hairy legs, she gotta go. No, I'm joking. But no, if they are too hairy, you let her know about it. But that's what I'm thinking. Some guys are like, mm.
sometimes you just have to work it out and communicate with her. I mean, if she have a hairy armpit, you can shave. She can shave that. Like, you don't have to quit the relationship every little things that you don't like. If she have a personality that irritates you, I mean, she could improve that, right? And if no one is perfect, there are some people that wants to have a perfect partner. I mean, there's no such thing as perfect. When you're dating, you just have to have patience, and be to have an open mind. It's okay to have standards, but of course you have to also have a limitation. Next is no patience. It's impossible to work out a relationship with a Filipina if you have no patience. You have to have patience to be able to date a Filipina. I had a story to share with you about this. I had a cousin. I think you know her. She used to live with us. My husband met a foreigner that also moved here in Dumaguete, and we match. My husband matched him to my cousin, and one day they had a meeting to a forest camp, and they have schedule, and my cousin getting ready for that. And we live in Apolong, and it's up the hill, and sometimes it's hard to get a tricycle up there to go down. I mean, for those who live in Apolong, who've been in Apolong, you know what I mean. It's so hard because it's up the hill. No, it's not a busy, road, and sometimes it would take you hours and hours to wait there to get a tricycle. So, anyways, my cousin was waiting right in front of our house for, I think, an hour, and she was panicking because this foreigner is probably in forest camp waiting for an hour. And my cousin was trying to call this expat, and she cannot reach him because for those who've been to forest camp, there's no signal down there because there's no signal. I don't know, maybe because it's up the hill. It's just hard to find a signal in Apolong. So, anyways, after after an hour of my cousin waiting, she when she arrived to forest camp, this expat is not there at all. And she was panicking. She came back in our house, and she said, oh, Leia, she's not there, and I've been trying to call him, and all that he's not answering his phone call and all that. And after that, this expat doesn't say anything. He just disappear. He just ghost my cousin. So you don't have to dump a Filipina just because she's late in your first meeting, or you don't have to judge without knowing the truth. She might have a fair reason why she is late. For those who don't know, when I first, when me and my husband, on our first meeting, I was late, and I have reason also for that. And he didn't dump me. Thanks God for that. And I think he's glad about that also, that he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I get with the guy what I got it and contact her. I mean, think about it. Some of these Filipinas are gorgeous, right? And then she doesn't show up to the first meeting. A guy is thinking, as you already know, back in the West, oh, women don't want me. So many different things. He could got divorced. He probably has a problem getting women there. So a guy's like, she didn't contact me. What's going on? And then your husband probably said, hey, no, this happened, that happened. He's just not hearing it. Some guys just not hearing it.
Just ghost me because of that reason. So Gary is the first foreigner that I date, and I'm just not aware about foreigners are into time. I don't know anything about that. I'm not realistic about time, and that's one of the reason. And second important reason why I was late is because I was working as a nanny, and I usually left my phone. When my boss take me, places. I had a 1 year old, and sometimes my boss would take me to the shopping mall, and we didn't get back home until late. So I did not show that at 7, and when we got home at 9, I get ready and get to the Robinson Mall, where we're supposed to meet, and I arrived there at 10. And I was trying to call Gary, and I said, yo, I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm late. Can we still make it? And all that. I was so disappointed, and I'm just glad, Gary answered, and Gary gave me a chance, and here we are now. We are married for over 3 years, and we've been together for five years, more than 5 years now. And you don't have to dump her. Sometimes everyone deserve a second chance. You don't have to ghost her because she is late for in your first meeting, because honestly, most these Filipina who doesn't have experience with foreigners, most of them are not aware about time. They're not realistic about time. You have to have patience when you are going to date a Filipina. You dump because of that reason. You never know, maybe this Filipina is such a wonderful woman, and you just lost that opportunity. Next one is low effort. To be able to date in any countries, if you want to find a partner, you have to make an effort. You cannot just sit there and wait for a miracle to happen, that someone would knock at your door and court you. That doesn't exist anymore. So there are some foreigners just doesn't make any effort. As I said, you have to have confidence. You have to go out and maybe go on a dating site and start chatting with someone. It takes so much effort.
What she's saying right now is most important. Every guy that comes here has to be confident, right? And even if he gets rejected, he has to have the confidence to keep talking. Talk everywhere you go. Create conversation. And when you do that, you realize things come to you easier. Trust me when I say you go around talking to everyone. And this is the thing, make talking to people just how you are, right? I know you're from America. I'm from New York. I talk to everybody. So when when I go to the Philippines, anywhere I go in the world, I'm just talking, 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 talking. I can't help it. So naturally, if I was single and I need to talk to a woman, I'm gonna talk myself into a woman just talking. just talking. Hey, how you doing? This, and this. Oh yeah, I see this. That. Talk about the song playing on the radio. Talk about this. Talk about that. Talk about anything. Create conversation. Use anything as a conversation piece. Then it'll work out.
effort to find the right one, but I promise you that's worth it as soon as you find the good Filipina. So, all right, so this is the last one. Bad for your experience. There are some foreigners who, hesitating to date a Filipinas again because because of their bad experience from the past. Maybe he dated a Filipina that one's a scammer and a cheater and all that, and he has no confidence to date another one because he thinks that they might be just same thing, waste of time and all that. But sometimes you will go through challenges before you find the right one. It takes so much effort. You just that's your past. You should forget your past and walk on your future, and stop holding yourself from your past. It's the same thing. There's good Filipinas, there's a bad Filipinas, and it takes time to find the right Filipina. And I'm telling you, there's so many good Filipinas out there, so never give up. All right.
Yeah, guys. So I think she gave some good advice. Me to every guy out there who feels that way. I always tell guys, keep trying, keep trying. And the reason why I tell guys keep trying and keep trying, as she said, there are a lot, not too many, but there are bad Filipinos out there, and there's good ones. And look at it. Turn around and say, wait a minute. So many guys that I know of are going out to the Philippines and they have them a wife. And then turn around and think, there's how many women out in the Philippines? Maybe 60 million. And then you want to make those odds a lot better? Learn the language. You come out here, learn Tagalog, then the Philippines is your oyster because you're opened up to probably another 10 million women that would talk to you that you wouldn't think you can talk to, but you can talk to. And this is the thing. This is what's great about the Philippines. The Philippines is a young country. What does that mean? Most of the people living right now are young. So that makes the world your oyster. That makes the Philippines your oyster. But yeah, guys, I think as she said, the most important thing, I think the most important is to come out here and have the confidence. Because if you have the confidence, doesn't matter if things aren't going your way, you're going to make it go your way. Not by force, just by smoothness and being who you are. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to check out Philippine Family with Leah's channel. She's been making content for a while. She makes good content. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to me too, y'all. And yeah, if you're a guy out there who thinks Filipinos are not just that in the foreigners anymore. That's not true. They are. You just got to find the right one and you got to put in effort. But yeah, guys, see y'all next video. Peace.